Hey folks, welcome to Maverick Gunworks channel. Today I'm going to talk about something that's very popular these days, the Glock Model 42, 380 caliber, little bitty handgun that Glock came out with a few years ago. And start with, we're going to check our chamber, make sure she's empty and loaded. Take our magazine out and give you a quick tutorial, I guess is the way you pronounce that word. We're going to show you how to take it apart real quick. It's really easy. The Glock is known for being easy to operate kind of thing and manipulate. And in this case, we're going to put the web of our hand on the back edge of the frame right here, pull slightly back on the grip, on the slide rather. We pull those little tabs down right there, that's your takedown lever. You pull that down a little bit, let the slide go forward slightly. You have to pull the trigger to release the slide, and it comes off just like that. Isn't that cool? It's a shame that not all handguns come apart that easy, but it is a really neat way to do it. And then with our slide, we're going to put our thumb, get the slide and push forward on that spring right there. And again, we have a captured spring, so you don't have to worry about the spring jumping out and knocking your table lamp down. Push our barrel up a little bit, and it comes right out. Simple as that. And then here, there you go, you field strip the slide. All we have to do now is put a little solvent on here. We want to make sure that we put a solvent on our tracks, clean all the crud and grit that may have stuck to it from the range. Pay special attention to the face of the bolt right there so that you keep it clean. And because if you get too much crud on the face of the bolt right here, then it will be causing a failure possibly. If it don't close all the way, you'll get a failure to chamber. And here we're getting our barrel. We're going to clean our barrel out with a little solvent down in the barrel. Let it set for a few minutes, and then come back with a dry patch. If you shot a lot, you may want to run a brass brush through it to help clean out the copper or brass that's accumulated in it. And we'll follow that up with a little bit of a light lubrication. And then we'll put together. All right, we're going to lay our barrel back into the slide. All right, drops down just like that. Put our spring with the black plastic tip forward in that little recess on the pocket on the front of our slide. Grip the frame of the slide here, push down with your thumb, push a little bit forward pressure, and the spring will drop right back down into the recess that's on the back of the barrel lug. Okay. And here we go with our frame and all the main parts of the firearm as far as the trigger assembly goes. And here again, we'll want to do a little solvent here to make sure we clean any crud out down in the trigger assembly as much as possible in the sear section. You can put a little solvent down in that, degreaser. Come back if you have it. Good idea to pull out with an air hose, compressed air there, and just a couple drops of lubrication on any moving components, so friction free as best you can. Keep that lubricated. And a little dab of lube also on the tracks right here where your slide will be moving on. And then we can put it back together. Take our slide, our frame. You want to watch the slots on the inside of your frame on the slide. Line that up with the little tracks right there, slide it back. And it usually helps with a little bit of wiggle to it. Push it back. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now see, we had a failure right here. That tells me that my recoil spring is not recessed like it should be. It's not seated into position on the barrel. So what I'm gonna do here is see if we can take it back off. All right. Pull the slide back again. And what did we do wrong? What happened? Okay. Good example right there. The spring was not exactly in the center on the barrel lug. So we slide it over a little bit, and I see now I heard it click, and I had actually pushed it too far, and it was not exactly in the recess right. So now I'm looking at that. You want to make sure that the spring is exactly in the center on your barrel. Okay, and then I've got that right. See how much you get in a hurry can do for you. That little bit of detail makes a difference in it. It did not go back correctly. Let's try it again. All right, here we go. And now it works like it's supposed to. Imagine that. I did it right. Okay, back to the little Glock 42 here. This is designed for concealed carry. It's not necessarily your best choice if you're going to go out to the range to shoot a whole lot, because it is a small grip, not a lot to hold on to. With that being said, it is a very good compact gun for concealed carry. Put it in your inside your pants, inside a IWB holster, and it works really well as far as that part goes. And being a Glock, it's going to be dependable. You don't have any manual safeties per se on the outside of the frame to manipulate, but you do have a trigger tab safety, so that tab has to be depressed for the gun to fire. All right. And with the features of this gun also, we have the famous Glock horseshoe rear sight. A lot of folks like that. Just a matter of personal preference. And a big white dot. And there are also a lot of options now for sights on this gun. You can get aftermarket sights for tritium, also fiber optic options now. And they're one of the most favorable to be able to change it. They're not as difficult as a lot of guns are as far as changing goes. So here we go. We can put this in a press, and it come out fairly easy compared to a lot of other firearms. With this gun, we have a slide release on the left side of the gun, which is typical for a right-handed person. So and compare this to some of the newer Gen 5 models where they have a slide release on both sides. This only is on one side, but it is a slide release, so you can push a tab right there, push it down, and your slide will be released. Okay. If the magazine is out of it, duplicating if the magazine were loaded, it would be the same situation. You wouldn't have to pressure against these latch on the inside, so it makes it easier to push down. All right. So if the gun were loaded, you just push a little bit there, and it will release your slide. Load the gun easy. All right. One of the cool things I like about these Glocks, anyways, most all Glocks, you have the option of being able to change the magazine release button. As is this one, the same way. Your mag button here is made for from the factory for a right-handed person, typical with your right-hand thumb. But also you can take the slide off. But down inside there's a spring wire that connects into the magazine release button. You can relocate or dislocate that wire, pull your mag latch out, turn it around, and put it back in the other way. Okay. So it's one of the more say favorable options also for Glocks, to be able to change your mag button fairly easily. All right. Okay, what else we got here? What is this capacity of this rascal? I believe this is a 8-round, or 6-round rather. It's 6-round plus 1. And I know there are aftermarket magazines now to get this up to 8-round capacity, I believe. And in the box that came with it, I didn't talk about this earlier. Well, we have another magazine, so 2 mags, and a loader. Cool little loader device here that will help in getting your next round into the magazine. All right, that comes with it. And your typical lock from the factory, and cleaning utensil here. Cleaning rod that is designed with also a slot where you can put your patches through the slot, run it down through your barrel, be able to also clean in down into the frame of the gun. And also it has a screw thread on the tip of it, so you can screw in attachments for it. So your wire brush or your other possible utensils, such as this one. By golly, see there? Glock is smart in that part too. They send a brush with it to be able to clean the slide and also run it down through the barrel. Okay, it is a nylon bristle brush. Wouldn't be as aggressive as a brass brush if you needed it, but it is. If you keep the gun clean, don't let it get too dirty before you go clean it. This will work just fine. All that comes in the box, along with your typical owner's manual, and everything fits neatly into the case. But anyway, there you go. And before we go, I'm gonna do my trigger pull test, and we'll see what it comes like from the factory, because this is a brand new gun and we've not done anything to it other than take it out of the box and do a little quick review on it. So I'm gonna hook my trigger tab here if I can catch it just right. And the little trigger tab wants to kick my pull test gauge out of the way here. Okay, 6 pounds where it broke at. So let's try that again. We'll shoot a couple of times, see if it makes a difference in when it gets broken in. And I'm going to guess that after this gun is broken in, it may be a little less of a trigger pull to it, especially after you shot it a few times and and cleaned it and lubricated it with some good synthetic lube, which I'd recommend anyway, even before you shoot it, as far as that goes for the first time. Let's see what we have there now. And again, 6 pounds. So that's going to be consistent, and that's fairly typical, I would say, for a concealed carry type gun. And the fact is, because it is a self-defense weapon, you don't want it to be too light of a trigger. You wouldn't want something that's a competition trigger style with a gun like this, because you may be, if you have to use the gun for self-defense, you're going to be full of adrenaline. You're not going to be as sensitive probably to the trigger pull. So it needs to be a little bit heavier anyway, and that's a good deal. All right. So anyway, there you go. That's my take on this little 380 caliber Glock 42 handgun. If we can help you out with something from Maverick Gun Works, give us a call.